shaft. It has 3 tunnels. You only just passed it, and once it wasn't used for to defend the coast. It was used for the soldiers to come down into town, and the 3 shafts were labelled, one for officers and their wives, one was for sergeants and their ladies, and the third was designated privates and their women. So for a long time there was a lot of social distinctions all the way through. Dover is also known as one of the cinque ports, C-I-N-Q, as in French for 5, and these were 5 ports around the coast here designated by the king for special purposes. This is in the medieval period, and what they were for was that they had to supply to the king a certain number of ships and men when he demanded it. And for that they were given special privileges of taxation relief, being able.
Yung bumaba kami dito sa bus para biglang nakita ng saglit ng castle. Ayun, no? Yan, medyo foggy lang pero kita na rin. Yun yung tatawag nilang Dover Castle. Okay, so pin-reserve pa rin nila. Ngayon museum na lang. Laki, Ayan, so sabi nila ito daw yung key para mapasok yung buong England, kasi kung una, kung gusto mong makonquer yung buong England, ito dapat unang-unang mong masakop. Ito yung daan papuntang loob ng mga England, kaya naging historical tong Dover, England sa kanila. Dover Castle. Dito pa yung mga dati, ngayon museum na lang siya. Sayang, hindi tayo pinunta doon. May iba tayong destination, bagay pangkaraniwan na sa Europe ang mga castle. Halos lahat ng Europe, parte ng Europe may mga castle. Okay, time to go back. Ito naman sa kabilang side, bandang likuran niya. Ito pa yung flag, England. So time to go back. Yun yung tour guide namin. Okay.
Exists, which you can actually walk along part of the city wall. That part of the city wall was built in around 200 by the Romans, goes into a decline, rebuilt again by the Normans in about 1170, 1180, goes into decline again, and then finally it's rebuilt in 1380, this time as a defense against the French, because we feared of a French invasion.
Canterbury Cathedral.
Yes, that's fine. This is much better because we're...
Pala city na nila ito, Mas maglalakad tayo mga 10 minutes siguro.
Oh, yes.
Ito mga regular bus nila. So ito na pala yung city nila, City ng Canterbury. Lalakad kami ngayon, punta namin yung cathedral. Sarado pa yung mga shop nila. Mga signature shop din pala dito eh. Pero syempre mahal dito, pounds to eh. Pounds, tulisan ako. Taas pa ata siya kaysa sa euro eh. As usual, lollipop boy na naman tayo para makalibre tayo ng tour. Okay. So sana op. Ito maganda, pinipicture nila oh. Parang gate ata ito. Main Street.
That was the road we came down, so you got Dover up there 15 miles, you got London down there 50 miles. One of the Roman gates was exactly where the roundabout is. That was one of the 8 protected gates which protected the walled city. Now with the Romans, whenever they built a gatehouse, they always had a temple on the top of it, dedicated to the Roman god Janus. Now when the Roman Empire becomes Christian, year 310, Canterbury takes up Christianity quite quickly, and those temples
500 years na yan.
So hence we have this church here, which later becomes St. George's Church, and where the gatehouses were and are, you often find churches. So the other end of town, about half a mile away, you've got the west gate still there, and the church is now the town hall, not the council. So we get lots of these churches.
Ang cute ng mga baba lang. Bababa na silang ano to? Simbahan, maliit na simbahan. Kaya mga 500 years ago pa to.
Protestants and Catholics, lots of trouble, and eventually Catholics, Roman Catholics, were banned from the league. So they were away for many hundreds of years until 1827.
Mesti jangan
So that's the remains of about 1300.
Maliit na simbahan ng pala to. Catholic Church of St. Thomas of Canterbury. 12 na maaga pa eh, kaya sarado pa yung mga shop nila, no? Okay, so ito yung mga tinutur, no? Ayan, lollipop lagi ko hawak. Okay, lakad na. Konting discussion sa simbahan. Lumang simbahan na to. Okay. Meron itong matanda oh. Tanda na nila pero nagkukros pa rin sila mag-asawa. Ang sweet, no? Oh, tanda na nila. Pero lakad pa rin. Sige, lakbay pa rin. Enjoy pa rin ang life nila. Sarap ng buhay nila. Sana pagtanda ako, ganyan pa rin. No? Okay. Yung mga bahay nila rin, no? Eh...
The bottom floor would be the shops. The second floor, the little windows would be open for guests, and then the top would be the room
Mga bahay.
The names of the streets help them give clues as to what went on. So that road running down there, you can see the name of Nursery Lane, and nurses were clockers. So there are shops down there.
Ano kaya makikita dito? Isang
The road we
statue.
just passed, parallel to this little road,
May
is
nakalagay
called
na
What Shore.
The Great War,
So any suggestions?
1914 to
There
1919.
were 6 slaughterhouses down there, which accounts why the story is that the rooms on that side of the hotel were cheaper than the rooms on this side of the hotel, because that overlooked slaughterhouses. And if you can imagine medieval Canterbury in the hot summer with no drains, you can see why they were probably cheaper. So this is the entrance to the cathedral. Built around 1500 to
So ito yung entrance doon sa cathedral. Okay, so 500 years ago na, no? Grabe. Papansin mo, ayan, may mga nakasulat na pangalan.
where I suggest
Ano,
you'll meet
Mills,
up.
Millgate, Miller, Millennium, Pound, Martin, siguro, of Canterbury who fell in the Great War 1914 to 1919. So paikot sa mga pangalan. Parka, dito sa kabilang side. S naman, still. Meron din dito. Mga planka. So yung mga namatay ng digmaan sa kanila. Okay. Serves as tribute. Yan, dyan tayo papasok ngayon sa cathedral. No?
Allowed on the pavement in terms of what you build. So if those
1959 to 1939 to 1945. This memorial commemorates also
straight opposite,
the men and women of Canterbury, armed forces of the Second World War. Yeah. So, siguro papasok na kami eh.
that's Mercery Lane, that high street as well. No?
Ayun yung cathedral sa loob na. Okay, so 500 years ago na. Pasok na tayo.
Okay, and
Ganda. Ang lumang-luma na siya. No. Dito talagang makikita mo kung gaano siya kaluma, oh. Diniserve pa nila, oh. Okay. So, para makita natin siya ng malapitan. Ganda ng ano niya, structure niya, no? Naman cathedral na. Okay. So, andito yung grupo natin. Pamimigay yung lalaki.
So, there was precincts. Now, everything sort of in and around this area is all to do with the cathedral. The cathedral itself, above ground, is first of all the tower, built in 1500. Apart from the tower, the small towers at this end are built in 1400. The other part from the tower to the other end about 1100. And there's another section in the middle from 1200. So what we can see now above ground is over about 400 years. But of course there's a lot of the old cathedral below ground. The cathedral has been destroyed in a Viking raid, for example, 1,000 years ago in Newburgh. It's been set fire to by the Normans and destroyed. It's been demolished because it was old-fashioned and rebuilt. A bit's got accidentally set fire to and had to be replaced about 4 or 5 times until we've got now right. It's all built of stone from France, Norman France, in Caen, northern France. But when the Normans came over, destroyed the old cathedral, they wanted to build a bigger one in stone, and there's not enough local stone, so surprisingly enough, the cheapest option in those days was to go back to their hometown of Caen, which has got quarries near the coast, put the stone on boats down the North Sea, up the rivers, into the city, and build it. So I suggest about an hour and a quarter to have a really good look at the sort of ancient cathedral.
Okay, pasok tayo
And then
ngayon.
if you were interested, I can sort of show you around bits of the city. You can sort of have a look. Interested? Okay, enjoy.
Okay, pasok na tayo ngayon. On your own na to. No? Sayang, wala namang kukuha ng picture sa atin. Bahala na. Okay, so more or less 500 years na tong simbahan na to. Yung tower, yung dalawang tower. Grabe. Ito na yung loob ng katedral nila. Grabe na, ang laki. Yan ang loob ng katedral nila ngayon. Taas. Yung kanina nasa labas, nakikita natin. Puna natin ang picture. Bawal ata yung flash eh. Hindi. Ganda ng mga structure ng ano nila, oh. Mga building nila. Ay pagka Gothic style. Dalasan may mga tomb sa kanila dito. Oh? Remember in God all ones, all the Prince Lancers. To the memory of Lieutenant Colonel. Medyo mga army na to, ha. Okay. Puro mga ano, in loving memory. So mahaba siya. Ito ganito talaga yung meron pa rin sila yung mga nagsasalita na pare sa taas. Ayan, taas ng tunnel. Alright, pasok tayo ngayon dito. Ganda yung simbahan nila. Katedral to eh, katedral. Isa sa pinakasikat na katedral sa London. Okay. Enter to the pit on my own. Bakit muna tayo sa taas.